towel and the nurse stuck a needle in my arm. Well, Uncle Doc's nurse used a needle with ungodly charm. Whoa, 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 whoa. Walking down the hall, the dentist loomed through the door. I saw an X-ray of a girl passing gas. The one-shot theory got a weary, things got rolling and loud. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, 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 Daddy, will I die in the war? Jesus, Hitler, Buddha, Santa, Mary, Klaus, Barbie, Christ, more. Well, them got arrested and the sky was the ocean that day. But words got twisted and history didn't know what to say. God, dog, sex, death, life, now I'm feeling alone. These images were conjured by talking on the telephone. I saw an X-ray of a girl passing gas. Oh my God, it seems like just the other day. It might have been 100 years before. But no, there is no other way. We only have to wonder what it's for.
Hi, happy Friday. I'm Tom Chick. I'm playing Old World. I am 119 turns into my game as Persia. And if you've watched some of this game previously streamed, you know that things are going very slowly, as they're wont to do in the late game. And especially as they're wont to do if I sit here and explain stuff for hours on end, which we're going to do more of today. Well, one more hour on end today. So I'm going to now, well, okay, here's the deal. We want to attack Egypt. We are heading for Ptkheka, which is this city right here. It has the Temple of Solomon right there. It has this great ziggurat. Those are worth victory points. I want them. Egypt is not strong enough to hold them. They're on the way out. Carthage is beating up on them, so I need to sweep in and grab these lovely Egyptian cities before Carthage does. So to do that, however, we're dealing with a family issue, namely my designated ruler, the son of Ardashir, King Tespes. He should be our leader, but he was a little bit too young when Ardashir died. So our drunken aunt, Ardashir's sister Astar, she is the head of Christianity. We are a Jewish nation. As a matter of fact, the whole world in this game of Old World is very, very Jewish. This lady's in charge of Christianity in a Jewish world. How's that working out for you, Astar? Well, she is an oligarch. No, sorry, she's a matriarch of that religion. And she has volunteered to be regent while Tespes finishes growing up. Now, the regency system in Old World, there really isn't one. What there is a really robust event system. And apparently regency is something that happens through events. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to shake out. But what I do know is that Queen Astar is currently in charge of Persia and her massive army. And she's not really the leader that we were hoping for. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at her stats, she's actually not that bad. And she is a hero. But really the issue is we're wanting Tespes to be in charge once we start the battle, because we've been specifically cultivating him to be the head of our nation when we do this big invasion. He has, you'll note, as the leader, where are they? This brave stat right here will mean all units will get plus 5% attack versus melee. And this bloodthirsty one right here means all units will get plus 5% against anything that's been damaged. And once wars get underway, pretty much everyone has taken a little bit of damage. So, and also pretty much everyone, I haven't seen a lot of cavalry on the map. So, because we're going to be involved in a war that involves mainly melee, and a lot of people are going to be damaged, once Tespes is on the throne, every single one of my attacks will be at plus 10%. So, that's one of the reasons we want Astar to finish this regency nonsense and hand over the rulership of Persia to Tespes in 2 years. So, what that means, hello Marketson, welcome here. What that means is that in the next 2 years, we need to get our military poised to start striking at Egypt. And our first target is this hapless left-behind city, Per Atum, which has no defenders except this one sad little militia. So, I've got a decent number of orders to play with. Let's just start playing. Let's just start moving our army around. Alright, bring these guys up. There are our chariots. We will take a moment to look at our generals once we get people in position. And by the way, I've just one of the things you can do. So here are all of my units. You can organize them by type. These are all my melee units. So I'm looking at 7. This doesn't really count. This militia. I'm looking at 7 spearmen. Oh, I've got a maceman. Someone gave me a maceman earlier. I can't build these yet. But I have 1 maceman, 5 spearmen. If you look at my cavalry here, this is where things start to get interesting. These 3 are my unique units. They start as Paltan cavalry, and I'm about to upgrade them to cataphract archers. I've got these Libyan cavalry and these chariots. I think the chariots are going to be chariots for a while. Until we get stirrups. It's actually doable. But until we get stirrups, they will remain chariots instead of horsemen. And then finally, our range... Whoa, oh, yeah, so our archers are ranged, so they're repeating down here. So basically, we've got about 18 units to play with. 6 cavalry, 6 melee, 6 ranged. And our cavalry are also ranged. So 6 melee and a dozen ranged units is pretty much what we're looking at. Okay, so let's just keep... actually, I got to make sure... Is there a hotkey to wake everyone up? Just going to go through, wake everyone up so that everyone gets a chance to consider orders. Oops. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a little sun I'm clicking on for each unit. And so make sure they get a turn in the order queue. You know, there might be a command to, well, I don't know. I was going to say there might be a command to wake everyone up, but I'm not going to look that up just now. Alright, and then our melee guys. Our militia is staying home because he's really no good for anything except home defense. Alright, I should have done this before we started. Alright, our entire military has been awakened. And now let's go through them one at a time. Yeah, so I see 16 units down here waiting for orders. In Nishapur, here is an archer on a range where they have been leveling up. They have 170 XP. Is there any reason to march them across the top? No, we're gonna bring pretty much everyone down to the southern side of our empire here. Alright, this is... Okay, so this is a Ptkheka cavalry. This is our unique unit before it's been upgraded. To upgrade it in a city with a citadel, which right now is only, I guess Parza. Parza? Yeah, there's our citadel in Parza. So, our Ptkheka cavalry need to swing by Parza to upgrade on the way to the war. So, here we go. Actually, wait a minute. Could they have upgraded back here? I don't think so, because I don't think... Yeah, there's no citadel back there. Right, of course. Okay. Alright, so coming down the road to Parza, they upgrade to Cataphract Archers. It's costing me 160 training. I've got plenty. I've been saving it up. It's also costing me 75 food and 75 iron. You can see we've got a good amount of food. Iron, we're doing fine. Most importantly, though, we've got plenty of money to buy anything that we don't already have. Alright, this is our elite Libyan cavalry, and you'll note they only have a fatigue of 2. Because they are a foreign unit, they don't plug as readily into our command and control scheme. Hello, Cube Squared. So, what's a Ptkheka? Excellent question. And Cube Squared, if I recognize that avatar, I think I know you from Twitter. Hello, happy to see you. Ptkheka is the name of the Egyptian capital. This city right here. And boy, do I have no idea how you're supposed to say that. Like, is it maybe like a silent T? Even then, what do? Ptkheka? Is the T a TH? Ptkheka? I don't know. If only I had Moon Knight here to answer this. Egypt, this wasn't originally the Egyptian capital. Egypt has been torn up and swallowed and ripped apart by different empires. We're here to finish the job. In their current situation, this city has become their capital. And on this map, it is currently the capital of Judaism, which the entire world observes. You will see the multiple stars of David. The only non-Jewish power is Babylon, and these Thracians, but yeah, the Thrace right now consists of a single site. So there's one barbarian city, and a patch of 3 very, very tightly clustered Babylonian cities, way up in the northeast, yeah, where they're not bothering anyone, and they're also not receiving the truth of Judaism. Everybody in the world's Jewish except for Babylonians. They're missing out. Marcus, it does sound like a name that Lovecraft would come up with, doesn't it? In dread Ptkheka. Only death may die. Nil, hello. Hello, Lord Kosk. How important do you feel roads are, Marketson says. I'm guessing you no longer need road spam. One of the, okay, if you guys want to play a drinking game, it is Friday. Anytime I say something like, one of the cool things about Old World, or one of the things I love about Old World, or one of the unique things, anytime I mention Old World in the same breath as some form of exceptionalism, take a drink. So, yeah, even if it's chilled iced tea like Lord Kosk has, that'll make your hangover much more acceptable. Anyway, one of the things I really like in Old World is the way that roads and rivers are represented equally. Like, a road is as good as a river. The only problem is rivers may not go where you want them to. But there's a little bit of a technological basis for that. You, of course, need labor force to build roads. I think you need to implement the colonies law. I'm not sure, to use rivers as roads in neutral territory. Let me check. In friendly territory, rivers are always like roads. So if you've got a river running through your city, the hexes on either side of the river, because rivers run along a hex side, for all intents and purposes, have roads in them. If you have colonies instead of serfdom, serfdom is basically for more raw materials. Colonies they're mutually exclusive. You pick one or the other. If you have colonies, then rivers in neutral territory and friendly territory also function as roads. And Markton, as for what role they play, hugely important. Normally, a unit just moves 1 hex. and most walking units have 2 points of movement. So normally a unit will move 1, 2. But a road lets a unit move 3 hexes, basically. It, wait, do I have that right? Yeah, basically lets it move 3 hexes per hex of movement. So, normally a unit can just go 2 spaces. If it's going along a road or a river, or, by the way, I love this, a combination of road or river. If a road reaches a river or vice versa, you can transition. If you're moving entirely along a road or river, you then get 6 points of movement. Now, one thing about rivers, which is kind of a big deal, and you will notice weird movement. Like if you're trying to just get somewhere and you give yourself a couple of different destinations, you might notice really weird things happening. And 9 times out of 10, that's because you don't understand the rule of rivers. And that is that if you cross a river, I think I have this right, it uses up the entirety of a movement point. So if you're going across a river, and rivers are roads if you're just going along them, but the moment that you turn perpendicular to a river, it becomes more expensive to represent crossing the river. So anyway, to answer Marketson, I love the way that roads are implemented in this game and how they tie into rivers. All right. Cube squared, yes, notes. I did not go with slavery. Normally I'm super into slavery. Terrible thing. Quotes that can be taken out of context. Normally, slavery is like super useful in this game early on for giving you extra orders. In fact, so much so that I'm pretty sure they've nerfed the effect of it. Um, but I haven't needed extra orders so much in this playthrough because I'm specifically doing it to flex the Persian national ability to get extra orders from having flocks of animals. So from the very get-go, I've been swimming in orders in this game and didn't really need this slavery. So, all right, let's see. Let's finish moving our armies. And we might leave a couple up north. You know what? We might leave these guys behind because they move so much slow. Yeah, they've only got 2 orders, but they get 3 movement. So I guess in the long run, they actually move about as far as any melee unit or any infantry units. Let's just do this. Bring them down here for now. By the way, another thing, as I am moving my units, as they leave my borders, their cost in upkeep is more expensive. And units generally, their upkeep is tends to be resources, not money. So basically, I'm going to have to spend more, and I can afford it. I've got a solid economic basis here. As we go to war, I'm going to be spending more on upkeep for my army. All right, there's the Libyan cavalry. These are some Akkadian archers I got from Babylon. They hit really hard. We'll bring them down. Here are some regular archers, commanded by General Gordia, who's got an excellent courage stat, and he's a zealot, so he has a death shield. Yep, let's bring him down. I imagine the Egyptians in the city are looking very nervously at their borders right now. We will leave these spearmen in place. Now, this is an area where, I don't know if you can tell on the mini-map, here is where we're going to fight, way down here. And we've got all this Carthaginian, Greek, and even some Roman territory between this area. And we've got 3 military units because we had to come over here and fight for this area. So basically, what I'm saying, these guys are trapped. I don't think they can reach... yeah, they're not going to be able to reach our fighting anytime soon. And they certainly, I don't think... Well, they could maybe march through these woods, although that's going to take forever. Oh, actually... Yeah, I think we'll leave them out here. So, these guys, we're just going to give them all sentry orders. Shoot, I would really like to keep this... Well, yeah, we'll leave them out here. We don't want Rome to get any ideas. So, sentry you, Although, let's actually get you out of the town, out of the capital there. Did you guys know, by the way, that you can switch unit? Like, if I select them and move them here, like, they'll swap places. I love that. Okay, so sentry them in the town center. And actually, you know what? Let's fortify them. Wait, why can't we? Oh, I guess you can't in a town center. Fair enough. And then we've got 2 cavalry here, and we will sentry them as well. Alright, here is a chariot up, again, kind of cut off. We can march through Carthaginian territory. Yeah, let's go ahead. They are a chariot. They've got the mobility. Let's bring them down. It'll take a while, but we've got time. Alright, also up here, I'm actually going to leave these spearmen, so I'll sentry them. Alright, here's another archer. So Katura and Zadrakarta, these 2 cities, these are our clerical cities. And this is where we were going to found our own religion and spread it across the world, but Judaism arrived and it looked really good. And I think Egypt even slotted a bunch of, Egypt even slotted theologies into it. Like, one of my concerns when I first started playing the game is you have to craft the religion and to determine what effects it will have. And I was worried that the AI didn't know how to do that. But this playthrough here has reassured me it definitely does, because this is Egypt's version of Judaism. Basically, it began with legalism. They built on top of that a layer of Gnosticism. And then on top of that, they went for enlightenment rather than redemption. You know what? I should actually just do a whole video where I explain religion, because I really like the way they do religion in this game. They don't like it's a great mix of specificity and generalisms. Like, obviously, this isn't the Judaism that you would know from the Torah and the Ketuvah. Like, this is not actual Judaism, but it is bits and pieces of ancient religions assembled under the name of Judaism, which I kind of like. I like this kind of build your own element. And also, this is another thing. So right now, right now all 4 world religions are rolled into the game. Each nationality gets its own paganism, and that's kind of like, you might even consider that like an ethnicity. Well, no, it's your ethnic religion. But then there are 4 world religions that can happen only if the conditions are right. And unfortunately, I think the conditions don't show, once the religion has arrived on the scene. But before Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, and Manichaeism can arrive, you have to, somewhere in the world, the conditions have to be right. And you can aim for those conditions yourself. There are shortcuts in the tech tree and with some of the families if you just want to grab a religion. But otherwise, there are very specific reasons that a world religion happens. And all of that, very transparent, very much at your fingertips, and some kind of cute theming with it. Cube Squared, yes, I've played 119 turns of this game. Every game of Old World is always capped out at 200 turns. That's part of the pacing here. How is Romania? Oh no, for Cube Squared. Yes, so Cube Squared can tell you about it. Yeah, I don't have any insight into Romania. Oh, is that where Cube Squared is? Oh, I'm not even right. Yes, Romania, right. I'm gonna ask a really dumb question. That's Ceausescu, right? Jesus, am I confusing an East European? I might have just embarrassed myself terribly. Yeah, no, it's got to be Romania, right? It's not Hungary. But anyway, Cube Squared, I would be curious to hear your response to Markinson's question as well. He and his wife had a bad Christmas. That's a bad Christmas, all right. Yeah. Cube Squared was 5. God, I cannot imagine. I mean, I can, but when I was five, actually, when I was five, I lived in Switzerland, so uh, that doesn't really count. All right, let's bring down some spearmen. These guys, and you'll note up here we do not have a road network. Also, no rivers. How do I know this? Well, it doesn't show very well. I really, really wish that rivers and roads popped better. But this right here shows me. The blue is a river. So the river comes down, well, actually flows here out in the Indian Ocean up here. And then another river starts here and then flows to the Indian Ocean down here. Then we have another river that starts here and flows into the Indian Ocean. Actually, Parza is at this weird conjunction of two rivers that ends and empties in this kind of bay right here. But then there's still a land barrier before we get to the Indian Ocean proper. So it's like the rivers never reach the ocean, but they reach this weird emptying point. And there's a kind of an isthmus right here. Uh, yeah, the Romania is basically suffering from the sort of rump of Ceausescu's power. Is that what it is? Old regime cronies, Cube Squared says. The finest Swiss cheese as a child. Switzerland, I mean, I only know that I lived in Switzerland because I was told that. As a 5-year-old, I had no idea what was going on. I was just in one place that looked like any other. We were not there for very long. My mother had a job as a nurse, briefly in Switzerland, and we weren't even there for a year. I do remember, I wouldn't know how to spell it, but my mother, the name of the town or village was Onenda. I have no idea how you spell that. I just know the word Onenda. So there's apparently some place in Switzerland called Onenda. I think somewhere that's in the back of my head. I've not verified that, but I seem to recall that's a town we lived in. So you know what I did? Oh, I was going to say I lied. There are roads, but no, there are no roads to get the spearmen down here. But what there are, better than roads, check this out. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, they'll come down by water as long as it's my territory. But the problem is getting past this gap here. They can't transport. Maybe they can. Well, we'll just we'll take them down. So this is only taking me 2 moves to get all the way down here. Whereas if I went inland with 2 moves, I would only get here. So that's one of the advantages, of course, of coastal terrains. It's super easy to move along it. So that spearman down here, this spearman, just bringing up the rear, hang out at that monastery. They can enjoy some of this lovely honey from our honey grove. All right. Oh, wait, that guy still had movement. Here is an archer in Parza. Do we want to leave our capital undefended? Yeah, we're fine. We can pull back if anything approaches, right? We'll have plenty of warning, I'm sure. Okay, our maceman, which was given to us as a gift, currently our most powerful melee unit. Another archer. Yep, they just upgraded, so they can't move. Here is another archer. And he is stuck inland, but there is a bit of, oh yeah, look, we've got a road coming through the woods right here. And search me, like, if I didn't have this filter on, can you tell there's a road running down here? Because I cannot. And that's kind of a bummer. I mean, I love their artwork. Like, I love that I can zoom in. But look at all the detail on those little lumber mills and that shrine. I mean, I don't know how you draw a vivid road through that without messing it up. So I basically tend to, as I'm learning the game, just resign myself to having this shade, this filter on. Where rivers have the blue shading, roads have the yellow. Alright, let's bring our archer down. He can join the fray. And even along, now here's, okay, so along the road, Why am I not getting farther? Let's look at this. So I'm not on a road now, so walking here is going to cost me 1 point of movement. That's just, there's no way around that. Uh, and even, okay, because I'm going along a road down here, see, look what it's doing. It's wanting me to come up here and then use my remaining movement down here. Like, can you see? Rather than moving me 1, 2 hexes, it's wanting me to go up here and then just come down here. Like, it's the same movement. And I don't know why it's doing that. I don't mind. Yeah, it's sort of odd. I think it's just wanting to, whenever it can, take advantage of as much road or river movement as it can. So that would be 1 point of movement. Oh, here we go. The problem now is the river hooks around to the left. So there's no river for me to keep following. I think I need to extend the road like this, because now, in order to get over here to this side of the river, I'm going to have to burn a point of movement. So this, I suspect, is an engineering issue. I don't know, but I'll be curious if I extend the road to test that. We'll have this guy come over later. All right, so at any rate, this is as far as he can get, mainly because he has to cross the river. At least they're able to build the road without cutting down too many trees, right, Anakin? Like, I like that roads don't involve deforestation, because part of what the personality of this map is that this Elber's Ranged Forest steppe is this big, thick, like dark, ancient, mystical woodland in my imagination. And reinforcing that is the fact that we have this shrine right here to Attar, who, I don't know what Attar is the god of, but he improves lumber mills. Like, he's a god of deep woods. I'm just making that up now. I have no idea who Attar is in the Persian pantheon. But in this game, he's the god of the deep woods who has a shrine in the Elber's Ranged Forest. So I'm glad I can have a road running through here without tearing up just that vibe of it looking like a dark ancient woodland. And by the way, if I wanted to, I could raise all these. The new faction in the game are the Hittites, and their special ability is any unit can cut down trees. So the Hittites are all about running around deforesting things. Hello, chappers. Hazy Silhouette. Yeah, I don't... Onenda? Like, does it maybe begin with an H? HR is the Zoroastrian concept of holy fire. Thank you, Cube Square. I want to look now at what the actual effect is, and how that might tie in. Shrine of Atar. Oh, man. Sometimes the F1 key doesn't go where it promises it will go. Alright, so it gives a bonus, to mines. Why was I? Ah, I see. So if you build it near a mine, the Shrine of Atar, and I know, if I were to look at my notes, I could tell you that it has a counterpart in 2 other pantheons. This is the way that shrines work. Atar. Where's Atar? Where are you? Oh, Vulcan. Okay. So it's the Persian equivalent in the game's vocabulary of a shrine to Vulcan, the god of war, or Nuska for the Assyrians. So the Assyrians, the Romans, and the Persians get this shrine. When the Persians build it, it's called a shrine to Atar. When the Romans build it, it's to Vulcan. When the Assyrians build it, it's to Nuska. And what it does is it improves nearby mines. However, for each lumber mill that is adjacent to this shrine, it adds to your military power, your training, which is what this secondary bonus is. Every shrine has like some primary bonus which suggests a place that you should put it, something that it will help, but in addition, every shrine has something that helps it somehow. So shrines have kind of an outgoing synergy and an ingoing synergy. The outgoing synergy here for Atar, Vulcan, and Nuska is to put it next to a mine. the ingoing synergy is to have a lumber mill. So when I first had this situation, oh yeah, I clearly planned this. Yeah. You'll note there's a lumber mill in every single one around, every single hex face around it. So I'm getting 6 points of military from this shrine, whereas normally you just get a little bit of culture and a boost to mines. Um, Vulcan was it? Yes, smiths and fire and metally stuff. Oh, right. You're right. Mars would have been war. Very good. Thank you, guys. Right? Dicey in the middle of a forest, isn't it? This whole thing could go up like that. Well, fortunately, we do a lot of that forest management out here. You can even see too. Like if you zoom in on the artwork, look, there's the holy fire burning in the shrine. It's the flame of Vulcan and Nuska and Atar right there. All right. Oh my God, how did you guys get me on? How did I end up talking about shrines? So each nation in this game, one of the things that a nation has that's unique to it is it will have, oh, four. I might have said three. It'll have four shrines, and each shrine is named after one of that god's, after one of that nation's gods, but each shrine is also shared with two other nations. So in addition to each nationality having its own special abilities up here, they also get, their unique unit. They get their unique selection. Well, not unique. They get, well, actually, it is unique. They get a unique selection of four families. The starting techs don't matter so much, um, although each faction does get a tier 2 tech, and their starting tier 2 techs can be relatively important in terms of like your opening build. But then in addition, after the unique units, there are the four unique shrines. And if you get to the point with this game where you're playing it like I am, and you're trying to min-max numbers and push up the difficulty, then playing into the bonuses that you get from those shrines can be super important. Especially, by the way, this is not what I'm doing in this playthrough, but you can have some nutso playthroughs with polytheism. Polytheism and shrines in Old World are insane. Like the stuff you can do, and once you go with a state religion like polytheism, it's a very much a mutually exclusive thing. You can either do a state religion like a world religion, or I'm trying to think, is there some way you could do both? I don't think so. I think it's either or. Or you can also just ignore religion, or you can have a crazy polytheism. All right, we've actually okay a few more units to move. These guys, right? Nope, they're good where they are. We're down to 4 orders. Everyone there is good. Now, here's another thing that when I fight wars in this game, one of the things I tried when this came out, and I've done this before with games, and it's part of looking at how the AI plays. If there's a way you can play a strategy game like this with Fog of War turned off, you can learn a lot about what the AI is doing. And to Mohawk Games' immense credit, they are more than happy to let you play this with the Fog of War turned off. It makes the game very different. I learned that it breaks a lot of very important elements, like scouting, for instance, even agents. But it does give you insight into what the AI is doing. I've even tried playing it that way multiplayer, thinking, yeah, it'd be like a board game. Uh, and maybe it could work out that way, but in theory, it was a lot of us kind of standing back and eyeing each other because you could see where everybody was moving. So you can play this without Fog of War. I don't recommend it because I think it loses too much, but it is an interesting experiment. That said, once you're playing with Fog of War, scouts are huge in battle because what's probably going to happen, and I want to show you what Carthage and Egypt have been fighting, because this affects the AI as well. What's probably going to happen, why can I not remember what those battle lines are? Here we go. Doesn't help me either. I can't see what Carthage has here. Like, you'll have a front, this is a front line in the war between Carthage and Egypt, which has been going on for a good, like, I don't know, 10, 15 turns. Um, Neither of them can see into the other, like, neither of them can see what reinforcements are coming up to the front because they don't have scouts there. And what's important here is that your line of sight from a city border or a unit is relatively limited compared to a scout. An inter right here. I just want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look how far that scout can see. Normally, I think the vision radius for a military unit is 3, and if it's fog of war like this, it's 1. Like, military units are terrible to march off into this fog. Um, I think that cavalry have a slightly larger vision radius than infantry, but I don't think it's as high as scouts. More importantly, scouts can hide in trees and spy on the enemy, and they can't be attacked. So we are going to bring a scout to observe our invasion of Egypt. I just don't know if it's this one. This scout has actually been heading over to Rome. Rome's capital is right here. We wanted to plant an agent there for 2 reasons, so we can keep an eye on Rome, and agents give you a portion of that city's income based on the agent's stats. For instance, is this an agent? No, those are spy masters. How can I? That's an agent. Where do we have? I know I had someone in Carthage. You are in Carthage, right? That's what that means. No, she's in Jadu. Thought I had someone. Oh yeah, she is in Carthage. Yes, okay. She is in Carthago, the capital of Carthage. This icon here, little hoodie, that means they're agents. Uh, Parasatis. Parasite. That's a terrible name. Sounds like a parasite. Perisat. Let's talk about her. It's a much easier name to say. Statira, who is Tespi's sister, she's an agent in Jadu, which is the Egyptian city we're about to invade. And because of her stats, I just want you guys to notice this. Her wisdom is 7. She gets 55% of that city's research, which in this case is not great. It's only doing about 6 points of research. But if we were to put her in a really good city, like say the Roman capital, we would get 50% of, because her wisdom is so high, of that city's research. That is awesome. So I want to show you what Perisatis is giving us in, where is she? She is, yeah, she's in the Carthaginian capital. Look at her discipline here is 1. Discipline is the stat that's generally associated with making money. Because Carthage is such a lucrative, wealthy city, she is making, with a discipline of 1, a quarter of the city's income, which is 46 money. That's crazy money. Like, Carthage is doing good, and also because she's in Carthage, we can look at Carthage. Like, there's Carthage. Here are its stats. Here's everything it's making. I can see what specialists it has. Hey! Oh my god, look what they're doing. Oh, their specialists are in culture. Oh, okay, they've got 1 miner to get salt out of the salt mines. Otherwise, they've got 2 poets and 3 acolytes. Well, they've probably got... Oh my god, well, yeah, look at that culture income, 51. Yeah, that doesn't happen accidentally. Haha, it's going to be 92 years before they get legendary. I've got a legendary city in 3 years. At any rate, so that's what an agent does. We have my sister Statira is here. No, Parasitus is here. Statira is in the Egyptian city. And the higher the agent stats, the more of that city's resources they gobble up. So rather than return this scout to help me in the war, he's been marching over to infiltrate these Roman cities. Unfortunately, I don't think I can reach Roma. Because I don't think I can go, yeah, I can't go in this territory because we don't have, we're not at, is it a truce? No, whatever, peace. We don't have, we're not at peace. Oh yeah, I can just come around from the north there. Alright, but I definitely want to get a scout, so let me see. I should have some scouts. There is a scout north of... Okay, so he was keeping an eye on Carthage. We don't need to do that anymore, so let's bring this scout down here. Why are you taking so long to... Oh, I'm out of orders. 0 orders. Alright, well that's that turn. Does she steal the research or is it duplicated? Oh, cube squared, she steals points. So this right here, the way that the resources are organized in Old World, these in this box, orders, I don't like this being in this box, but for the most part, these are physical resources. Money, food, iron, stone, and wood. These are non-physical resources that you cannot buy. All of these are up for sale and for purchase. This is a marketplace. These you have to get fair and square. And you've got your research, you've got your civics, and you've got what's called training. I hate that word for it. I'm just going to call it military right now. These 3 resources and orders, I kind of feel like those belong over here. These are, you cannot buy and sell them. So research is a number of points that are applied each turn to whatever you're studying until the bar fills up. So my agent right now, if I tooltip my research, I can see where every single one of these 186 points is coming from. And if I come down to this tooltip right here, and I see that Agent Perisatis the Younger, and it's telling me she's an agent in Carthage, she's making 10.6 of the 186 research, whereas Statiera, and she's in Jadu, the Egyptian city, is making me 3 points. So I can see exactly how many points of research I'm getting. They are not, and this is important, they are not taken away from that city or that player. Oh, that's what you're asking by duplicated. You steal or duplicate. I'm sorry. I was giving you a way more convoluted explanation to a question you weren't even asking. It is duplicated. You do not take it away from the other player. Furthermore, I don't think there's any way to eject an agent. So it's not like it falls under the rubric of your spy master. So it's basically espionage, but I think it's getting more at kind of a diplomacy thing as well. No, chappers, I do not have siege engines, and furthermore, I will not have them for this battle. The hydraulics and windlass are where you start. Oh no, machinery. You know, I could get them. I don't know. Yeah, because it's really just the 3. I'll get them later. But my main goal at this point in terms of technology, chappers, is to research this because I need it for some legacies that I've only got 20 years to fulfill. So I've got to make a beeline. See this one right here for windlass and lateen sail? I don't think I'm going to get that one. But windlass is for, I think it's down here. Yeah, that's on this track right here for siege engines. You know, maybe I don't think I'll make it in 20 years though. That's the bigger issue. Alright, so I'm actually going to end a turn, which is, I think, is something that I didn't even do in the last stream. Here we go. Let's watch what the AI does. Oh, good night, Patrick Mullen. Sorry, happy to see you. I think I missed Patrick Mullen. Apologies. Alright, it is Rome's turn. Nothing fancy to show us yet. Now they're counting down the orders. Rome has 46 orders to my 60. They are not Persians with vast flocks. You know, I hope I didn't shoot. I think I turned off the option to show orders. Dagnabbit. Ah, so annoying. Alright, I hate to do this, but I had it set for another game I was playing. He's right, so the king of Greece died. Oh, what happened to the head of Christianity? I guess she abdicated? Okay, fine. Well, Astar was the head of Christianity, but now my son-in-law... Wait a minute, I don't want my family turning Christian on me. Come on, you guys, we're Jewish. Stop it. Oh, look, I did a steel research mission. That led to an event. We'll see what happens. I lowered the discontent in one of my big cities. I lost a general in the field. Oh no! My ex-wife, Ardashir's wife, Mutenbal, she was a Carthaginian woman that we married, and she was a fantastic general for many years, and she just died. Poor Mutenbal. And the oligarch of the Rider... Oh, well, yeah, this guy is now... I thought he was a courtier. He was a courtier. How does a courtier... Oh, I guess he came from the family. Okay. He's now the head of the Rider family. And whoever this person is died at the age of 21. Oh, she would have been a decent commander, too. Alright, I'm going to... Hold on, do something. See if this works. This should replay. It's not doing it. Well, alright, I guess I'll just have to look and infer what happened. Oh no, it's replaying. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so Rome is going up there. They're tussling with some Numidians, which I do not like. I'm wanting to settle those spots myself. I noticed I moved these guys out to try to distract Rome, and they didn't take the bait. They just moved right up here and fought. Oh, come on. Don't. That's where I'm expanding. Jason McMaster, hello. Jason McMaster, I would love to hand off to your stream. I'm about done here, and I would love nothing more than to watch you play something for a while. Richard Holt, hello. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. Come on, hang in there, Egypt. Ugh. I do like that the cavalry are having to attack his spearmen, because those spearmen have a plus 50% bonus versus those chariots. It's camel archers coming in. Yes, horsemen already? Not happy about that. Now these guys are quite a ways from the front, but they're on their way down. Here are Egyptian reinforcements who are disciples, one spearman. Good, take out that chariot. That's all that Egypt has. Great. I mean, if Carthage doesn't take Ptkheka from me, I think I'll be disappointed in the AI. I feel like I've blown this. And in Numidia, they're just shuffling around. Their units. Eventually, they will spill out into raiding parties. I would love for them to keep beating up on those Romans. There's my guys finishing up some roads, and okay, we're back to my turn. McMaster, I did not. McMaster, I did something last night I haven't done in a long time, and I played board games with a bunch of friends. So I did not see your stream. What did you stream? Yeah, get him. Oh, no, wait. I thought I was saying, yeah, get him to Thracians attacking Romans, or Numidians attacking Romans. This is not good at all. Because now Rome is taking, like, all of this in the northwest here. Like this is where Rome is now. This peninsula right here, they better not go up there, because all of that is mine. I'm calling dibs on it. You know what happened? I think I clicked this twice. Can I hit escape? Will it? No, that's one of the issues. You see these two buttons here? This is a music player, and this is an unskippable replay of everything the AI did. how many times do you think people have accidentally clicked this thinking it meant play music? I feel that these two buttons should either be very different icons or should not be next to each other. And I say that because it happened to me once. The Romans seem kind of formidable. Yeah, so Marketson, definitely Rome is, um, yeah, Rome is the one for me to watch, and you can even see with the score. Like right now, I'm neck and neck with Rome. I'm also tied with Carthage. The thing is, Carthage has nowhere to expand. Actually, it's not entirely true. Carthage could also expand up there. But Carthage, because they've been fighting wars, that's where Carthaginian efforts are. I don't think they're going to be a threat, but Rome and I are pretty much tied, and Rome has areas to expand. And whereas Carthage is fighting a war, Rome is not anymore. If we look at Rome, they were fighting with Greece for a while. Yeah, Rome is at peace with everyone. They're fighting Numidians, big whoop. So what's going to happen is Rome is going to expand up here and get more cities, and their score is going to go up that way. Which is not good, because my whole objective with this is to double. My score needs to be, I think, double the second place. So Rome is just making it harder and harder for me to win. And there's a possibility, I've got 5 out of 10 ambitions. There's a possibility I could get the next 5, but I wasn't planning on doing that. 0-0. Lord Kosk says Rome is the best faction. They're certainly super powerful militarily. Hello, Lord Polish, and thank you. It is good to be heard, I guess. No, I don't think I've clicked anything in the upper menu in my few games. Sacrilege. 0-0. Use all the menus. Oh, cube square. Doesn't it work to click it again to stop replay? It says cancel replay. It does. Just because I want to test. Sorry, you guys are like my guinea pigs. I test things out. I'm trying to get it to start again because I want to see how readily it cancels. And by the way, Cube Squared, awesome work reading a tooltip that I have long since ignored because I assume I know what it says. Alright, so if I just click it once, how long is the lag before it stops? Oh, pretty good. Excellent. You know, this is really difficult. Every time I think I find something to complain about. Now, look, it's still going. Okay, well, that... Okay, I think I had just queued up too many clicks on there. But yeah, every time I think I have something to complain about, nope, they fixed it, or they changed something, or I didn't notice something, or whatever. No, look, it's still going. Oh my god, it's still going. Yeah. I'm going to click one more. Okay, I'm assuming it's done. Has it settled down? I'm not pressing anything. Okay, good. All right. The really big... well, yeah, so, okay, is she gonna... Let's just see what the 6 events are. We have Selling Secrets, Quality Ore, King Alcibiades the New of Greece, A Traitor in the Temple, I don't like the sound of that, Tolerant or Orthodoxy, I think we're going Orthodoxy, and Jewish Ambitions. I actually want to jump to Jewish Ambitions. That one looks like the most interesting one. Let's back up. King Alcibiades is just announcing himself. We get 20 points of XP when there's a new ruler. Big whoop. It's kind of wasted because she's only going to be in office a couple of years. Okay, what is this? Jewish Ambitions. Oh, good. I like this. So one of the things they changed is the ambition system used to be every now and then it would just give you a choice of a couple of ambitions, and generally they were fed to you by your families. You know, what three families did they pick? That would determine what three choices you would get for your ambitions. Uh, and you would every now and then get to choose them, and eventually you get 10 of them. One of the things that they have been making an effort on changing is incorporating the ambitions into more of the event structure. So that rather than just, hey, here's your regular ambition menu, an event pops up relating to something in the world. In this case, the state religion, Judaism, which is a big deal in this playthrough. So rather than me just getting a menu of ambitions, they're relating it to Judaism and religion and this big factor in the game. So here we go. The Jewish matriarch Semat. Now, one of the reasons that I want to capture Ptkheka, the holy Jewish city, uh, in addition to it's going to give me more points, partly because you know you get points for cities, you especially get points for wonders of the world, and there are two of them in Ptkheka. But one of the reasons I want it is because it's the holy Jewish city. If I control it, then I am 99% sure, this is one of the reasons I'm doing this, I want to verify, that I then get to have the matriarch or patriarch of Judaism as one of my characters. And again, if you look at the world, all of the nations in this playthrough are Jewish, except for these backward Babylonians. They haven't gotten the word up here in the Northeast. Um, so the reason I want the city is I want the prestige that Judaism affords, and specifically the power that the patriarch or the matriarch of Judaism will have um, over like over other Jewish nations in terms of the relationship and how they feel about you. Uh, Cubic Skull says in YouTube, I don't know, holding the holy city of Judaism seems to cause a lot of crusades and stuff, right? And this is one of those. All right, and yeah, Cube Squared said that whole thing about the tooltip, me ignoring the tooltip. That's way easier to do when you're watching someone else play, isn't it? Like, here's another thing when you watch someone, like, stream. This drives me crazy when I do it, especially, because I know I'm doing it, and I watch other people do it. Let's say I bring up a list like this, and I'm looking for Prince Harpagus, and it's right there. So I'm like, okay, let me look. Where's Prince Harpagus? Where is he? Where is he? I'm going down looking for Prince Harpagus. Meanwhile, everybody watching the stream saw it. It's like, hey, Tom, it's right there. You skipped past it. And then I spend like a minute going down, Prince Harpagus, Prince Harpagus. Where is Prince Harpagus? Where is he? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with this game? This interface is terrible. I can't find Prince. Oh, there he is. And meanwhile, you guys saw it at the very beginning. That happens to me streaming all the time and watching other people play. So, yeah. All right. Jewish ambitions. What are our options? So, Semet. Yeah, okay. Semet, who is the current matriarch, and she's an Egyptian, 57-year-old Egyptian woman. She's from their landowner family. She is a judge who is educated. However, unfortunately, she is severely ill. She is not long for this world. I think next turn she will be dead. Also, she's slothful, which might be why she's ill. You know, a sedentary lifestyle, that's just not good for you, Semat. Anyway, she's not to be taken lightly. The fierce woman is ferocious in seeking out support for Judaism. She stands before me and makes the case for me to control 10 elder specialists, which reminds me of the importance of serving God. Or failing that, I can discover cohorts and martial code. Apparently, the priests of Judaism want to know about cohorts and martial code. This is an easy one. Martial code and cohorts, that is not, those are not things that are going to be easy for me to track down. Are those laws or texts? Those are, gotta be laws, right? Yeah, those are laws. No, 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 there's martial code. Okay. Cohorts? You guys holler if you see cohorts. I mean, I know what it... Oh, there they are. Wait, so... Oh! That... Okay, well, yeah. I think I can say I have legitimately never gotten this far ever in Old World. Um, if you had asked me, and I think I even earlier said it on the stream, that Macemen were the top of the infantry line. But nope, above Macemen, from Battle Line, when you learn cohorts, you can make swordsmen. Alright. Alright, so Jewish ambition. So we're not doing the cohorts and martial code. That's just way too remote a stretch of the tech tree, especially because we're already trying to track down windlasses and lateen sails. So, Semet, we will control elder specialists, and I think we've maybe even got one. And we've got 7. We are well on our way. That was basically a gimme ambition. I like that one. All right, what other events do we have? And then we're going to call it a night. Selling secrets. Months have passed since... Oh my god. All right, I'm going to attempt this. Azar Medoct. Azar Medoct. Okay. Months have passed since Azar Medoct sent her agent into Babylonia to steal its scientific secrets. Now, I like this. Oh, right. Azar Medoct is a... Wait, where's our spy master? I guess our spy master died. Because we do not have one, but we did launch a steal research mission. So instead of stealing knowledge from Babylon, our spy sold them our secrets for an astronomical sum, after which the spy crossed into the wilds to the east and disappeared. Oh! I didn't read the whole event. That's why we don't have a spy master. We told our spy master, hey, go to Babylon, because you'll note Babylon is one of the few places that is not that has more tech than we do. We said, hey, go to Babylon and steal some of their research. They went to Babylon, they sold them our secrets, and they disappeared, so we no longer have a spy master. That name that I took pains to learn to pronounce, Azar Medoct, stole the secrets and left. But we do acquire a random tech, so I'll take it. But we lost our spy master. That's hilarious. Infantry square. What does that give me? Sounds downright Napoleonic. Infantry square. Wait, what? Oh! Hold on. Did I misread that? Babylon gets infantry. I was so excited. I was wondering, well, if it wants to give me a consolation prize. No, I get bupkis. I get nothing. I paid I think it's civics. I paid the civics, the orders. I put the spy master. I gave her, she was a hunter character. I put her in office. Oh, look. I will bet you dollars to donuts that the event system specifies that this event can happen if a spy master has the greedy trait. That is exactly the kind of thing that Mohawk Games would do to me. How dare they? So what happened was, yeah, I got nothing. I paid for the spy mission, I paid to steal research, and instead Azar Medoct took the Marshall Square, which I don't have, but it's obviously something the Babylonians can use, and gave it to Babylon and absconded. So thanks. She was drunk. Right. Alright, and Babylonians now have Infantry Square, which gives them what? It was just so far ahead of... Okay, where did Infantry Square go, you guys? Oh, it's over here. Which gives them pikemen, so upgraded... Yeah, upgraded phalanxes. What's this? Oh, okay. It's anti-mounted 3. Whoa, double damage versus mounted. Wow. Ouch, yeah, Pikeman Rock. Alright, well, ooh, a free elephant. I kind of want that. It's only 1 year. Whereas why do I need scholarship? Why did I tag scholarship? I don't care about scholarship. Oh, I need it for winless. For my legacy here. Shoot. Oh, alright. I gotta take the elephant. I can't not take an elephant, right? When the universe offers you a free war elephant, you don't say no. Koopa's Call says research tree needs a search function. Normally I might kind of agree, but it's a kind of tiny tree. Like there's like, what is it, 10 tiers? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's only 7 tiers. Looks like, 5 or 6 in each. Yeah, it would be convenient, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it needs it, but I would say that if one were there, it would help me. And you could also do this, by the way, which doesn't help much, because then you still have to mouse over everything to see what it's called. But if you know the icons, then here's the tech tree on one screen. I don't know the icons. Oh, wait. That's new, I believe. So even if you don't know the icons, there is the tech tree all on one screen. Awesome. I love that. Alright, a couple more events, and then I promise we're done for the night. Richard Holt, I don't know how to get more courtiers. I have an ambition for it. Richard Holt, there's no reliable way, unfortunately. Courtiers tend to come from events. I say that, but there might be... I'm thinking there might be like... no. Do schemers... No, I was thinking schemers might have a way to get courtiers. But Richard, I'm afraid you're kind of at the mercy of the event system for courtiers. Oh, no, you're not, Richard Holt. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Richard Holt, you're not at the mercy. Every time you research, I'm going to expand the tree. Some things that you research put a free card into your tech deck. And a lot of them give you courtiers. So let me just show you what you want to look for. Do you see this bust right here? That's a scholar. This one right here, that's a worker, that doesn't count. I know one of them gives you a soldier. But you can 100%, when you research forestry, this scholar, you have the option to take him. When the card pops up, and it will pop up, you can take it. If you don't take the card, it's trashed and you never get another chance. But that's one surefire way to get courtiers, is look for the texts that have this bust or this bust. I just see the 2. Here's 3, here's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I see at least 7 surefire courtiers on the text screen. Yeah, and it looks like most of them are mid to late. So, and that just no, Richard Holt, thank you, because that just now occurred to me. It wouldn't have occurred to me that there was a surefire way to do that. Yeah, exactly, because if they're not one of the families, where do they come from, right? And they're so useful. Yeah, yeah. No, courtiers are great, because like a courtier is basically a wild card. When you get a courtier, that's like an important way to think of it. Because I think a lot of people get a courtier and they're like, oh, okay, it just sits there and it gives me a small bonus. No, no, not at all. It is a wild card where normally you need the suit of a family to match the slot where you're putting the character. Like that can be one of the tricky things, especially in an advanced game like this, where you've got 3 families that have proliferated, I should say procreated, and they've got family members everywhere, and sometimes you get a great person who doesn't fit in the slot. Well, courtiers are the cure for that. Alright, I just have 3 more events to go through, and then we're done for the day, and we're all going to go out and see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's a dumb... It can't... Is that... I think that's actually what it's called, right? Okay, there's a traitor in the temple. After so long on the run... Oh! After so long in the run, each turn is a year long. So presumably, from last year, she did as our me docked, perpetrated her scam last year. Then this year it's catching up with her. She's almost out of my reach, but not quite. An intercepted message tells me she's planning on fleeing to the Greek court. So she betrays me to Babylon and runs to Greece. All right. Once there, she'll be beyond my grasp. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want that to happen. Let's see who's in charge of Greece now. So Greece is currently ruled by Alcibiades the New. He just stepped into the throne. He's probably feeling very insufficient about himself. He doesn't have a good cognomen. He's a 37-year-old schemer. He's witty. So, he can tell her, oh my God, look at that wisdom. He is not happy with me, I bet because because I'm drunk. I've been forgetting that Astar is drunk. Nobody likes a drunk, so everybody has, I should say foreign and tribal leaders don't like a drunk. Locally, drunks are fine, they're fine. But abroad, they're frowned on. So, alright, there's one last chance to capture as Army docked. Despite managing to avoid my agents, she has made a mistake. She's planning to meet a Greek guide at a Jewish temple near the border. Breaking into the temple to seize her, oh man, that would be my one chance to capture her, but I would risk divine wrath. So, if I take her alive, Judaism will be upset to the tune of -40. And she'll be thrown in prison. Now, it was my understanding at some point, and this understanding has proved to be incorrect many, many times, so you'd think I would let go of this understanding, but it's my understanding that when you imprison people, you get a lot of money. But I don't see that happening all the time. So, I can imprison her, it would upset Judaism, which I could probably afford to do, I just don't want to. Yeah. So the magic number you want for these, if it's below 0, it's bad. If it's between 0 and 100, it's neutral. And if it's above 100, it's good. So the magic number is 100. We could easily afford to burn 40 points off of Judaism. But there's another magic number at 200. If you can hit that 200, whether it's a family liking you, or a character, or a religion, or another nation, if you can hit that 200, oh boy, are you in good. So rather than burn 40 points off Judaism, because again, I'm really wanting to get in good. This playthrough is all about Persian Judaism overrunning the world, right? So I really want to hit that 200 threshold. I don't want to take the 40-point hit. So we're not going to violate the temple to seize Azar Midoct. If she's going to get away, she's going to get away. This ends now, and then they're really upset because we go in and we assassinate her. And then Judaism is really upset. Not only that, but the Hunter family, I think she was a member of it. Is that what's going on? Yeah, the family that she belonged to is upset to the tune of 40 points for a year. And that I don't know that we can necessarily afford. Yeah, because they're at 20 right now. So, as much as I would like to get some revenge, I don't think there's much in it for me. It's just going to alienate. She made the right call taking sanctuary in a temple. She knew I wouldn't chase her there. So, I'm not going to desecrate it. Now, what this does, she gets away. She joins Greece. I don't know if maybe that'll help them. I guess maybe she's like a courtier now. But now that we've honored this, now that we've decided not to desecrate a Jewish temple, that even though we're a Christian leader, you will note, we are now pious. We get a point of strength and a point of charisma, and I will gladly take them, because Astar, oh, you know what, this is a waste because she's not going to be in office. Well, here's the thing. She's got a ton of wisdom. We can make her a governor. I mean, she'll still be useful as a character for us. So she didn't desecrate the temple. She's pious. Even though she's drunk, she made the right call. Kubik says the Greek people seem to like you even if their king doesn't. Exactly, yes. And again, Kubik, that's part of how this game models relationships. Um, they exist on multiple scales, and it's the beauty of Old World. You know what? I'm not going to do any more events. In closing, I just want to explain one final time why I feel this game is so special. I've sat down many times and started writing a review of this, and I've even found like the thesis of my review. Um, and one of these days, hopefully soon, by the way, just because I just feel like I'm at a turning point, and things have changed a lot for me in the last week or so, and I just am very optimistic about getting back to the kind of work that you guys have seen from me in the past. And at any rate, I haven't written a review of this, but I've half written many reviews, and they all have this same thesis. What makes Old World special, what I really like about this game, what makes it stand out from other similar games for me, what makes it unique from Crusader Kings or any civilization, is the way that it creates narratives from three distinct but interrelated layers. The geopolitical, what nation, the different nations, the social, which is this family level and religious level, and then the personal with the characters. Now, there are plenty of games that incorporate those three scales, that do have something at the national level, that model populations or social factors. The pops in Victoria, in Paradox's Victoria games, for instance. And of course, plenty of games have added characters. As far back as Mu 2, you had generals. Crusader Kings, famous for adding characters and making these soap operas out of what used to be a Europa Universalis style game. But what those games do not do, that I feel Old World does uniquely, is blend those three elements, blend the gameplay and the narrative seamlessly, like from the ground up in the context of an elegant, accessible civilization style strategy game. There's nothing else that does that with those three layers, and it makes them relate as well as they do here. This just me talking in the last 10 minutes about this one event where this woman betrayed me by selling state secrets to Babylon and then ran away somewhere else, but took refuge in a shelter in a temple that I didn't want to violate. Like, that is a combination of the nationalities, Babylon, Greek, Persia, my country. It's a combination of social factors. The fact that religions bind all these countries. The fact that if I assassinated her, the hunting family, I want to say what they're called because I would love to learn all these. The Myronid family would lose, they would be upset with me. And that would, because of where I am with them at 20, then all of the cities that they run, and that includes, by the way, Parsa and Nishapur, these are probably my biggest, most important cities right now, would take a hit because the opinion of the family would drop below 100. So that's one reason I couldn't assassinate her. And then, of course, the personal level, she is someone, well, she's gone now, but she is someone who I took from that family of hunters. I appointed her as my spy master specifically because she was from the hunter family. You can see up here, the royal family consists of riders. It's the horseshoes. Here's a clerical family. My ambassador is from that family. I specifically wanted a hunter as my spy master because families get upset if they're not represented on the court or the council. I think it's called the council. So in that one little event, like, that was illustrative to me of how this game ties together those three scales just beautifully and seamlessly. And I don't know of any other game that does that. So that is why this would be like a 5-star game. That is why this is my favorite game of the year that it came out. And why I can just sit here and talk for an hour having barely made any moves. Like, just the density of narrative in me looking at this map and making a move, it's just off the charts. And so that's what I love about it. Oh my God, well, you guys helped me get some exercise today. That was a very nice workout for my voice. I appreciate you showing up to listen. Sorry it is moving so slowly, but there's more where this came from. All right, happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will be back with more of this next week. If you don't follow me on Twitter, consider doing that at QT3. And also, if you don't follow me on Twitter, a friend of mine named Kelly Wand, with whom I used to do a movie podcast, basically dared me. He threatened to write an opsis of a movie that made him really angry. Like he said, this would be the angriest opsis ever. And so I said, "Oh, okay, really? Okay, if you write it, we'll do a podcast." And he recently emailed me and he said, "Well, I wrote it. When are we recording?" So I have to go see a Doctor Strange movie, and then next week we'll be posting a movie podcast. So thank you guys for watching. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see everyone next week.
I have no breath.
Excuse me?
Sorry, what?
I have nowhere to go with this. It's too perfect.
You are literally glowing.
You've hit the level of perfection, and now I'm just...
You stole my heart?
I've just come out of the water. You're fresh from the water. You're a mermaid. You're here.
How are you so fucking shiny?
Can you fetch me an inhaler? Because I can't breathe.
My eyes.
I'm physically unable.
My eyes hurt so bad from your beauty.
Excuse me, ladies.
Oh.
There's
Sorry.
a party to get to.
She wanted to test her husband. She knew exactly what to do. Suiting in to fool him. She couldn't have made a worse move. She sent him scented letters, and he received them with a strange delight. Just like his wife, but how she was before the tears. And how she was before the years flew by. And how she was when she was beautiful. She sang the letter on. Babushka, 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 ya. Babushka, 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 ya. She wanted to take it further, so she arranged a place to go. To see if he would follow for her incognito. And when he laid eyes on her, he got the feeling they had met before. Uncanny how she reminds him of his little lady. Capacity to give